Whoops, I forgot to turn that off. Okay, so you kind of think that you're ready to tie your signatures in, but just hold on your horses there. What we're going to be able to see when we're flipping through the signatures is we're going to be able to see this spine. So we need to get that spine covered with something. That's such a nice one. So let's just get some glue on there. You can leave it down into this valley if you want, or you can come up a bit. Just make sure you leave the area for the paper to fold. I think I'm just going to leave it down in the valley. Okay. And I just have this painted green paper. I think I'll just use that. So I'm just going to get it in there. Okay. There we go. Let's just let that dry for a second. So now I have the right story to the right book, and I have the up. No, I don't. I have the up. Yeah, Gemma Petal. This is Gemma Petal. I'm doing like 5 of these, so normally I think you wouldn't have to worry about that. Okay, so we're just gonna get this lined up in here. And like I said, I think I'm gonna, because I have to do 4 holes, I think I'm gonna do 2. I'm just gonna tie it in 2 times because it's kind of small. So normally I would fix it exactly in half and then do 1 1/2 on each side. But because it's so small, I'm thinking I'm just gonna do it at 1 inch. So we need these. So that's 5 1/2. So 4 1/2 is 1 inch on this side. And then we want to mark all of these in the same place. Here we go. And we're gonna get our punchy thing. And we're just gonna puncture these 2 holes. Find the center. There it is. No, one more. No, one more. There we are. So we're just gonna line it up nicely. And then we're gonna puncture our 2 holes. Because I have some washi tape, it's a little bit harder than usual. So that's 1. And because some pages are double thicknesses, some of these signatures are thicker than others. Get them nice, flat. Don't use washi tape a lot, but it's actually works fine for holding these pages together. I just don't think anybody's really pulling on the pages. There we go. So now we have to do 4. It should be dry enough that we can rip it now. Take it from the long end, okay? Perfectly fine the way it is. Can trim this down. Sometimes the scissors doesn't get into it, but a sandpaper will. I used to make it all roll over, but it does sort of make it buckle and stuff, so I just stopped doing that. Okay, so we need 4 holes in here. We can really see where our fold is. It seems like a lot, but we need 4. Ah. Sometimes maybe my thing is a little bit too big. All right. I like the weight on here. It's not going to have to be that long this time because we're only doing 2. We're not going 3. Get your big needle. And let's take it from, I always like to do the back one first. So this is the front. This should be the back one. Nope, that's 12. This should be the back one. $58, yeah. Okay, so make sure you have your ups up. Just keep constantly checking your ups, okay? So we're gonna do the back one first. And I want to tie it on the, well, no, let's tie it on the outside because I'm actually going to put another cover on it. Have it nicely lined up so you can get it right through this exact same hole. You don't want a whole bunch of holes in your paper. And the hemp thread works great because it does not tear the paper. It's nice and wide. So we need to get to the back hole. There you go. Look at all that extra thread that I've got. So we're just going to tie it right here. When you're tying it, you just want to check and see that it's lined up nicely in there. And then tie it off. Can you hear Laz's TV show with all the laughter? I guess we could do one more. Since I did that so long, let's see if I can use the same one here. Come on. So now we're going into the second one. Coming out the second one here. There we go. We have the, I just need a tail here. There we go. This one should be the next one. Still puddle duck. Yep. And we were at number 49. So we need 48 here. Nope. There we are. This one's 48. Get it nicely lined up, okay? And your up is up. Go into the same hole. Carefully go through the next hole. Don't make a new hole. Go back to the number 3. Before we tighten it up, let's make sure it's lined up this way. Nicely lined up. Then let's tie it. Trim that. Let's get another one. So the next one should be, make sure your ups are up. Just like that. The last page was 31, so we need 30 here, 12. Okay. So I'm going to come in the second one here. Oop. Let's leave one up there. One tail. Again, I made it really long. Keep your ups up. Ups must remain up, okay? Gently, gently, gently get it into the hole. Just make sure I didn't lose my tail on the other side. Almost. Pull this one through. You do not want to lose this tail. But again, I got it way too long. We're going to go through that second to last hole. Before we tighten this up, please don't tell me I pulled it through. I did pull it through. How annoying is that? Well, it happens if that happens to you. Put it back on the needle on this side and put it back through your hole. There we go. So before we tighten this up, we're going to line it up. You can make sure it's nicely lined up. And then we're going to tighten it up and tie it. There we go. one more time. But I have to remember I need some more white hemp. So I think this will be the second Beatrix Potter that I finished fixing. So this should be number 1. Yeah. And we've got the front here. So number 1 is coming into here. Just got to take it into, remember which side is the front. We're going to cover this hole, so it's okay if I, looks like this hole kind of joined together. I just have to squeeze it out here. See, we got a little bit of space there. Carefully. We do not want to catch that other signature. There we go. And I do not want to lose my tail again. There we go. Please make sure your up is up. Gently, gently, gently. Gently, gently, gently. We do not want 1,000 holes in the paper. Back out again. This one I do need to puncture another hole because it didn't go in straight, see? That one didn't go in straight. There it is. So we're just going to go up this hole. Pull that through. This time we still have our tail over here. Before we tighten it, we're just going to make sure our page is laying nice. Nice and tight. I think 2 ties are enough. There we go. So now we have, look at that, it still wants to come apart. It has to be hot glued. This one's sort of okay. Back to the hot glue gun. Here's the other one I finished. And the hot glue gun worked on that one. It's so hot to be using hot glue. Sorry, I bumped you. Jeez, I'm really bumpy today. So, you can see it fits fairly well on the inside here. And we've got a lot of pages. So that Beatrix Potter is done, and then we just need to hot glue this, and then we need to find a paper, and we're going to cover up this back. And we do have a little bit of space on this particular one to cover up this area here too. Because you can see where my glue came through. I think you can scratch it off too. Okay, so let's find a paper. What paper do we want to come along? And I have all of these because I've cut them to the right size. That one's not quite the right size. Need it a little bit longer. about this one? They're all a little bit short. Interesting. Why are you guys a little bit short here? How about one of these? I made them smaller than the spine, so they're all a little bit short. Let me see here. Will this one fit? I think it's pretty fun, but no, you're not fitting the way I want you to fit. I have some brown here. How about a solid brown? Not that nice. I don't think I want music notes on there. What do I want on there? We don't want a really heavy paper. We want kind of a less heavy paper. Still looking. I actually have I don't think I want. Do I want masterboard? That might work actually. It's harder than I wanted. It's harder than I wanted, but it's kind of cool looking. So let's just cut a piece out and take a look at how it looks. Yikes, I better put my needle away for now. Even though I'm going to be tying another one in just a second. I'm just going to cut it and then we'll check the size and I can chew it later. Not long enough. Need it wider than that. So when you're going to cover your outside spine, I hope this one's wide enough. Nope. Wow. Kind of ruined that whole idea because now I don't even have any that's going to work. Back to the drawing board. I have some more. Master boards that might work. That one has a pocket on it. Nope, I don't like that either. Oh, this one looks good. It might even be the right size. I think that'll be nice. So when we're going to do this kind of a master board and we're going to recover that, what we're going to do is we're going to leave a gap right here for it to open. Okay. So you just need to decide what side do you like. I like this side, I think. Push it down to hold it in place. Do it this way so I can see the length on both sides. There we go. Leave ourselves a slight bulge. Let's mark it. So we're gonna cut it right here. This is what I should have done. First of all, give ourselves an end part here. Come on. I had the mark there. Then I had the mark there. So this is covering the outside to take care of not seeing we're not going to see the ties on this one. Okay. So this one's going to go onto there like that. I like it. So the first things first. Oh, that's not up. This is up. And look at this one, doesn't have a cover to it. I can't believe I'm doing this to myself. I keep making them too small. What I could do is just mark the top and the bottom in black to finish it. I don't like that idea though. I want to cover it. Oh. This is what happens sometimes. Not the color I need. Not the color I need. How about this one? Does this thing go? I think it does. And it's a better thickness of a paper. Much better. Oh. Hang in there, guys. We can do it. We can do it. Okay. That's why I got the narrow one, to fill in the little gap there. It's the edge that I need more. Just to keep this paper a little bit stronger, a little bit more flexible. And I'll show you one more trick that I had to figure out the hard way. Why leave it for you to learn that the hard way? Okay, so this is going to be our new cover to the spine. It's going to cover up the ties there. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. See, we're just going to have a little bit of that. Yeah, I like that. So let's cut this so that it fits. And as I've said, we're gonna see this because it's gonna remain poofed out. So if you don't want to see the green of the tape right there, get your black marker. Where's my thicker one? And just take the green away from the edge here. You're not going to see a lot of it, but you will see a bit of it. So just go down a little ways so that your eye isn't catching this bright green. This is just a permanent marker. You just don't want to see this when we're handling the new journal. By the way, after I got the signatures together, I did trim them. All right. Now we have hot glue getting everywhere. I'm going to go back here. We are going to hot glue this baby down. Ouch, ow, ow, ow. Do not touch the tip. What an idiot. I hate hot glue because of that reason. And it never fails that I burn myself. Okay, so let's get that one down. And we're going to do the same thing. Make sure if you have any of these threads that are trying to get away, let's just trim those away. That's what we're going to not be wanting to see on this journal. Okay. So that worked. Now we just figure out our front here. I think that will be great. Don't burn yourself again. So I think I'm going to have that little line of it on the bottom. So we're just going to get this. This line is going to go on the bottom. You really can't move hot glue once it's down. I'm going to bring it over. And we're just going to get that down. I'm being impatient now by using hot glue. Okay, so now we have a completed journal and we have a new spine, and you can see if you look deep in there, you can see a little bit of the green, but because we did the black, we've taken away that annoying color that will show up so easy. And now when we look at our journal, we've got the centers but no ties. We've got a very substantial new journal. I'm just going to put this under this binder to see, make sure that it glues and stays flat. And let's take a look at our other one that I glued and see how that one did. Because this one, I did not glue it right up to the fold. And I think that was the problem that I had, is I glued it this side too close to the fold, and as I folded it, the cover was pushing on that, making them come out. so I think this one will be better. Okay, hope you like it.